Good afternoon, it's Jeff Williams from Veterans United Against Suicide. Hope this message finds you all well. People that know me and know I like to say it as it is. No point flowering things up. And I like to get things off my chest as well, because otherwise just irritate me. Now, we had a really bad weekend, the veterans community. We're now recording figures of 21, which is horrendous. But I want to go back to, so somebody was asking me, what the main cause is. Why do people make such a horrendous decision to actually commit suicide? Well, obviously every case is different. I can't tell you how many different scenarios I've heard, but there are some that are common, and obviously more than other areas. So I'm just going to be honest. Like I say, that's all I can do. This is my personal reflection from the people I speak to. I think number one, if we were going to list them, number one would be relationship breakups. Either way, men who have served splitting with their wives, ladies that have served splitting with their husbands. And again, I think, when you marry a serviceman, certainly back in the day, I remember when I got married, I had to go to the padre and basically get his blessing. And they try and put you off, but that's how it used to be. You're traveling around all over the place. You're leaving your families to get on with it, and especially if you're in conflict situations. And I think we've mentioned on other videos, the amount of pressure that the family's under while you're away. And when you come back, of course, then you break their routine. I remember when I used to come back, we always watch Coronation Street now. Well, tough, get the football on, that type of stuff. So I think relationships is definitely number one. But, again, speaking to families, what I tend to find is it's a grinding down process. That's the only way I can put it, where the relationship becomes fractured while you're away. And then when you come back, unless you're both completely aware of what's likely to happen, and most people aren't, you find that it's grinding each other down over a period of time. And the next thing you know, there's an explosion, and it goes, either the wife says, I can't cope with this anymore, or the bloke says, I can't cope with it. And there's no right or wrong to it, but there needs to be awareness, because the people that do survive those periods of fraughtness, they tend to see it till the end. But like I say, so many don't. At times I've heard blokes say, well, my missus has run off with the milkman, took the kids with her, and all that sort of stuff. But then when you ask them, well, why would they do that? You'll get one side of the story, obviously. You get, oh, she did this, she did that, she did the other. I was talking to a lady the other day that served, and it was exactly the same. Her partner was abusive to her, bullied her, blah, blah, blah. So it goes both ways. But one thing is that there's definitely a lack of understanding how you speak to somebody who's traumatised. Again, a lot of the guys, a lot of the girls don't admit they're traumatised, so the partner can't see it. They see a changed person. They think they don't love each other anymore. And eventually there's an explosion again, and they split. Because, trust me when I say it, I know I've been there. when you come back from a conflict, there is definitely a tolerance issue. We used to drink ourselves bloody stupid, if I remember rightly. That don't help. And it's difficult both ways, but that's the main reason. And I think that's what messages to people is talk to each other. It's so difficult to get through this without you biting chunks out of each other, without you storming off to bed, without you storming out the house and going for a beer and not coming back and all that sort of stuff. And imagine the trauma you're putting on the kids as well, watching mommy and daddy fighting all the time. It's not good. But, I'm not advising. I'm just telling you what I hear and what I see. I don't know what the answer is. Maybe there should be some counselling for the families when they come back, rather than just say, oh, go and leave, have a couple of weeks off, get pissed and sort it out yourself. Maybe we need to prepare the wives for when they come back and the husbands. But there's something wrong there, because that is definitely by far the major thing. On the serving side, certainly most recently, there's been a lot of bullying going on. That's been highlighted an awful lot. A lot of bullying going on in the service environment, in the serving environment. And on the veteran side, what would I say? The second one is on the veteran side. That's generally speaking, I think you'll find that the transition into Civistry creates a lot of problems, where you've got people now not being paid what they were being paid before, not living where they were living before, not having the same circle of friends as they used to have before. That's the second one, I think, the transition, where it's chaos. That I would say comes second. You've got financial issues, you've got health issues, you've got children issues, you've got mixed relationships where there's a couple of kids from that family and there's a couple of kids from his family, and that creates problems. There's all these problems that you have to overcome to get through the other end, and there's very little support. But what I would say is the support that's helped me have been family and friends, people I serve with. If you've got the guts is probably the wrong word, but if you can, pinch your pride a little bit and go, I'm struggling, reach out, you'll find that most people will say, we were exactly the same situation when we came back. This is how we worked our way through it. Yes, there's got to be some compromise. Yes, I'm not going to go to the pub every night. Yes, we're going to talk about it. We're going to have date nights. We're going to go out and have put the flame back into the relationship. They're the main things. That's the main advice I would give somebody if they were asking me. I'm no expert. I don't pretend to be. But as I said, I can only tell you what people are telling me, what I see with my own eyes, what I read. Those are the main reasons. There's probably, there's a list of other ones as well. Like I say, financial comes into it, health comes into it, the strain of being away. Women find other blokes. That's happened when I was in. You come back and you're away, and then you hear your missus is messing around, or she's out every night. Comes back from the kids tell you, or one of your mates tells you on rear party, saw your missus downtown last night. It hurts. It's very difficult. Then again, on the other side, you've got guys being unfaithful all over the place. So it's just, I think, it's understanding when you marry a serviceman or a servicewoman, the vows are the same. In sickness, in health, You know, why should you ditch your husband in sickness as soon as he's struggling? First time he starts struggling, why should you do that? Why should you torment him even more, knowing the guy is struggling? You know, if you're a woman coming back from conflicts, you know, you don't want your husband in your face telling you you're a loony or whatever you are. Man up, woman up, whatever. They're all things that aggravate the situation. But the message is we've got to talk it through. You know, you can't get all the counsellors that easy. But you can talk about it. You can put an arm around somebody's shoulder and say, come on, mate. Come on, love. You know, let's work through it. That's all I'd say. But something's got to change. It can't stay like this. 21 people, it's almost 1 every 5 days. We lose another person. It's a ripple effect. It's the children affected. Daddy's not coming home anymore. Why? The kids blame themselves. That's another thing that comes through loud and clear. And then the kids end up having mental health issues of their own because they had a broken relationship or they had witnessed violence in the family. All that sort of stuff. And nobody wishes that on the children. Surely you don't bring a child into the world, you know, just to so they struggle with the mental health issues when they get older. Awful. You know, society at the moment is it's very fractured. It's very fraught. Financial difficulties, like I've said, and health difficulties. Again, I found a doctor this morning for myself. You are 26th in the queue. Oh, bloody hell. You know, about an hour later, you are 4th in the queue. Eventually got through, but I waited. But I wasn't a nice person while I was waiting. God, you know, that needs to improve dramatically as well. But that's where we are, folks. I just wanted to put that out there. You know, if you are struggling, one is reach out. But two, you've got to be understanding. It's a two-way street. You've got your problems and they've got their problems. And you've got to work through them. You know, you ain't going to make 5 years worth of marriage, 10 years worth of marriage if you're not communicating effectively. If you're winding each other up, you know, if you're slagging each other off, if you're going to bed with your arse in your hands every night, if your sex life dries up, whatever, you know, you're drinking all the time, I don't see how that works for anybody. But that's my personal opinion. Like I say, we've got to work together, folks. It's absolutely imperative. Apologise if I've offended anybody. That's not what I'm trying to say. You know, I'm not pointing any fingers at anybody. Life's tough, but it's worth it. You've got to look at the positives as well. As senior children grow up, you know, I know a couple of people who wouldn't be here now. I've spoke to them many, many times. They know who I'm talking about. And they've got families now. You wouldn't have thought anything ever happened. They've got it managed. They understand it now. That's what we've got to be aiming towards. More success in that area where people can smile about it and say, yeah, it is a problem, but I'm going to work my way through it. And it's so much easier if you both work your way through it. Because the other thing is as well, which never gets spoken about, I know for a fact my cancer caused Jen trauma. And she often says, I'm sure I've got PTSD as well, Jeff. I see you probably have. The crap you've had to deal with over the years, being married to me, ain't easy. There are how many other women out there feel that way. The trauma that they've seen and witnessed themselves has created this, you know, this recipe for disaster. But let's not focus on the negative. Let's focus on the positives. Let's focus on those good people that are battling with it. Those people that do compromise with each other. You know, they do love each other. They have a cuddle and all the rest of it. And they get through it. But Veterans United Against Suicide, we highlight this for a long time. We are not experts, to make that plainly clear. But I'm more than happy to listen to somebody and try and point them in the right direction. Jeff Williams from Veterans United Against Suicide. Keep your heads up. Keep battling with it. Don't let the arseholes get you down. Okay? It is possible to get through this, and we will together as a veterans group. Thank you. Bye-bye. Look after yourself.